Yo, it's your boy Dctree, and this is Dctree-Nation, the channel on YouTube that covers hoops and heroes. And today we're talking heroes. We talking the Black Panther character, y'all. And I have to say, before I go any further, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Man, I've been putting off this video for a while, but this video is in no way disrespecting his legacy, what he brought to the character of Black Panther. We love you. We miss you, brother. You know, rest in peace. Rest in power, King. But I decided to make this video because news has dropped that, Black Panther 2 production will begin in July. As of this video, that's the rumor. It's been coming off of really credible sites. So people are still wondering, are they going to recast the character, or is Shuri going to be the new Black Panther or whatnot? And I came up with 3 reasons why you must recast the character, okay? No disrespect to Chad, but you gotta recast the character, okay? And I honestly think that's something he would want. Just seeing interviews with him and how important he felt like the character was to the Black community, to the world, really, to little Black boys, to minorities all over. I think he would want us to recast the character. But before I jump too deep into it, if you like my content, please sub to the channel. Okay guys, I'm going to go through this list pretty quickly. I'm not going to make this a long video because I have the tendency to ramble. But the first reason why you need to recast the Black Panther character is that the character itself is bigger than Chadwick Boseman, okay? And he often talked about that, like I said before. The character has been out since 1966. There are hundreds of storylines you can pull from, characteristics from the character that the MCU can use, okay? T'Challa is basically the Batman of the Marvel Universe. He's one of the smartest people in the Marvel Universe. I think he's number 7 or 8 when they ranked them years ago, okay? If you kill him off, you're killing off, his adventures with the Fantastic Four. You're killing off his adventures with the crew, Luke Cage, Storm, Manifold. If you kill him off, you're killing off his moments with Galactus. Not necessarily saying you have to tell them exact storylines, but it's just so many great moments that T'Challa had in the comics that you're leaving on the cutting room floor if you go with a Shuri. And I understand Shuri did take the mantle of Black Panther, but it was only for a very short time. It was a drop in the bucket compared to T'Challa's story arcs. And then don't even get me started on the whole Storm marriage and that relationship and how it, how they get back together and break up and get back together. That'll be huge and very satisfying to see on screen. Okay, the second reason why you want to recast the character is the formula from the first film, okay? The formula from the first film almost perfectly sets up the second film, okay? If you recast the character, you can keep the machine going. Now, arguably, it's not going to be exactly the same because, obviously, it's only one Chadwick Boseman. But I think audiences are mature enough to realize, Marvel had no other choice. They had to recast the character. But you don't want to go in there and, for instance, make Shuri the Black Panther, and you have to come up with a death scene for T'Challa. You got to explain what happened to him, how he disappeared. You're going to tear up the story. You get what I'm saying? You're going to spend half the movie trying to readjust the characters and readjust the formula, and you just spent a whole first movie getting everybody's role in place, if that makes sense. Okay, everyone had time to shine in the first Black Panther movie, but it did have those moments where it could have had more action and more origin. Black Panther 2 needs to be an action-packed film from the get-go, from the start. No one wants to hear stories, story-driven narratives again, like origin. Well, how did Shuri train? How did Shuri become the Black Panther? How did T'Challa die? You don't want to have to go through that. If you recast the character, you could just pick up where you left off. By the time the movie is released, people have already dealt with the fact that Chadwick is not the main character. We got a new actor as a Black Panther, so it'll run a lot more smoothly. You get what I'm saying? Okay, the third reason why you should recast T'Challa is because this version of Shuri is not ready to be a queen, okay, to take the mantle. She's not ready in no shape or form. And if you force that issue, you're going to spend Black Panther 2, half of it, trying to explain that. And a perfect example of this comes from the first film. Remember when they thought T'Challa was dead the first time and Killmonger killed him? Shuri's own mother suggested that Nakia take the herb. She didn't even think for a second to give it to her daughter. It's because this version of Shuri is so different from the Shuri in the comics, okay? The Shuri in the comics, she wanted to be queen, all her life. And she trained to, one day be queen, to one day be Black Panther, to the point that the Panther God rejected her as the Black Panther because she was so fixated on being the Black Panther. She cared too much about the title. This version of Shuri is a scientist first, okay? She's a kid first. She's young first. And also, I think when you think about a marketing standpoint, Disney makes more money off of Shuri unmasked. She's officially a Disney princess. She has some cartoon shorts. Heck, I got a 3-year-old daughter that loves Shuri. She could care less about Black Panther, and she could care less about a Shuri with a Black Panther mask on. It's because Shuri doesn't wear a mask. It's because she has that cool makeup, those gauntlets, that she's appealing to young girls and appealing overall. So if you make her the Black Panther, you're taking away from the formula. Like I said in the second reason. You're taking away from the formula that works. Shuri has become a character in her own right. Likening to the Iron Heart, likening to, Iron Man in a sense. Iron Man of Wakanda. That's where she's headed. I can see her in Black Panther 2 rocking the wings, flying, her tech game on point. You want to keep her in that, medium because that's appealing. That's different. That's fun. Okay, if you make her the Black Panther, you go from having 2 strong characters to just 1. And, you take away from her likeness. So, I think you should just recast the T'Challa character. It's the short bounce pass move. It's not fancy. It may be a little awkward seeing a different guy under the mask, but that's just life. We don't have any other choice. But if you try to give it to Shuri right now, you're going to have so many problems from a narrative perspective. You got to get the story right. You got to get the costume right. You got to get the explanations right. You got to get her making mistakes. It's going to be a headache, and it's going to mess up the Black Panther 2 movie that should be action packed. It should be the Winter Soldier movie of this trilogy, in my opinion. Alright guys, that's it for this one. Let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree with your boy. I guess we will eventually find out what Marvel decides to do. Again, rest in peace Chadwick Boseman. Check out the other videos on the channel. I got the superhero playlist ready to go. Thanks for rocking with me, guys. Peace.